I think it's safe to say that the roast of Kevin Hart did his job. If you're a comedian, you love to see comedy push boundaries. You love controversy. This is exactly what the comedians who participated in the roast of Kevin Hart wanted to see. They wanted to see people upset. I think that comedians, if they do not see that the roast that they participated in left people frustrated and upset, then in their minds, it's a failed production. Family is Providence. I'm here to tell the truth. We have seen now Kevin Hart have to go to the Breakfast Club and address the George Floyd joke that Tony Hinchcliffe told. And now we are seeing Stephen A. Smith get on his podcast, get on his show, and talk about how the joke that Kevin Hart told about him left him feeling frustrated and hurt about it. And he feels betrayed by the fact that the joke came from Kevin Hart.
The Roast of Kevin Hart special on Netflix. Kevin Hart made a pointed joke about his personal Mount Rushmore of racism, a list of people he claims hate black people. Alongside Shane Gillis, Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Hart included my name, Stephen A. Smith. Quote, my Mount Rushmore of racism when it comes to hating black people is Shane Gillis, Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stephen A. Smith. Those are my 4 people when it comes to hating black people. You know, I tried to, first of all, I got, at least I thought I had, pretty damn good relationship with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart may have been telling a joke. It may have been the latest tasteless one that he told. I have no issue with the joke if it was a joke. If it wasn't a joke, I still wouldn't have an issue with it. I have an issue with the fact that it came from him. Somebody that I kind of know a little bit, that I got a lot of love and respect for. And at a time in my life, knowing I've spent my life fighting on behalf of my community, that people try to continue this narrative about me that I know is false, but that nevertheless still hurts to hear out of the mouth of anyone who knows me. I could respond more vitriolically, but I won't. More incendiary, but I won't. Because Kevin Hart has never once in his lifetime did anything to me that deserves that. And he's too good of a brother and too good of a human being for me to even consider doing something like that. But it stung. Didn't sting quite as much as a few people who I thought were my friends and loved ones that turned their back.
Clearly, Kevin Hart struck a nerve. Stephen A. Smith has been facing this type of criticism for years now. Many black people have accused him of not really speaking on behalf of black people, for being a sellout, because he routinely criticizes black athletes. He has been, or has articulated, favorable views toward Trump at times, even though he claims to be a Democrat. And so people have seen him as a political grifter and someone who isn't dependable really to speak to the issues of black people. And this is something that's a very sensitive issue for Stephen A. Smith. In my opinion, it's what got Max Kellerman fired when Terrell Owens was on that show claiming that Stephen A. Smith was less black than a white man, Max Kellerman.
The full Colin Kaepernick. Again, you mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
Time. Wait a minute. You don't.
I think Kevin Hart struck Stephen A. Smith's Achilles heel. The one thing Stephen A. Smith hates is having his blackness called into question. I think Kevin Hart could have made a joke about anything else and it really would not have bothered Stephen A. Smith, but this is the one thing he really does not like. And I get it. A lot of people are going to be roasting Stephen A. Smith for this. They're going to say, brother, it's just a joke. No one's taking this stuff seriously. Some people will even think you deserve it because you are kind of a grifter. So there's a lot of truth in that. You may not hate black people, but we're not exactly crying over spilled milk that you took that shot, because a lot of people don't really like the fact that Stephen A. Smith has been defending Trump. So no one's really going to feel sympathetic towards Stephen A. Smith for the jokes. But I got to tell you, family, I might be the odd man out with my opinion here. I've never been a big fan of roasts, okay? I just don't like that style of comedy. It's never been my thing. I love comedy. I love Kevin Hart's comedy. I think Kevin Hart is one of the GOATs. The number one GOAT on my list is Dave Chappelle, and right after that would be Kevin Hart. I think he's legendary. And I understand why people like roasts and they want to participate in roasts, but for me, it's never been my cup of tea. Why? I don't think words should be used to tear people down. Okay, call me a Debbie Downer. Maybe it's just a Christian in me, but I do think words are very powerful. I do think that there is life and death in the power of the tongue. And I think that I would rather use my words to build people up, to encourage people, to strengthen people, to push people forward than to tear people down. And so roasting as a style of comedy has never been my thing, because I think that even though something may be a joke, it could still do damage. You don't know where people are mentally, emotionally, what they've been dealing with, and your joke could trigger someone. And I'm sorry, I'm sensitive to that sort of thing. And it isn't enough to just hide behind, well, it's my art. So what if it's your art? So what if it's just comedy? People get hurt over their art all the time. You look at rap beefs, man, people be dissing each other on raps, and rap is a form of art, but there could be some serious consequences. There's a whole genre called drill rap where people dying over the streets partly because what gets said in music, which is an art form. So you really can't hide behind your art. You use your words to disrespect people. Disrespect is disrespect, and you calling it a joke doesn't change anything. So for me, I've never been into that style of comedy, and so I'll never really watch a roast. It just won't be for me. But I understand that people enjoy it. And I do make a distinction between someone who signs up to participate in the roast and someone who hasn't. So for me, if you signed up to be at the roast, like, you saw The Rock was there, Kevin Hart was there, all these other people were there, I think everything's fair game. You signed up to be a part of it. You know what's coming, right? So I don't got a problem with that. But for me, I think the issue is when you start joking on people who didn't sign up to be a part of the roast. Like, Stephen A. Smith wasn't there, to my knowledge. He didn't sign up to be a part of the roast. Like, why are you joking at me? On me? George Floyd is dead. He clearly didn't sign up to be a part of the roast. So why are you bringing up George Floyd? So for me, it's like, it's one thing for you to be dissing people who agreed to be a part of it, but then when you start targeting people who didn't sign up, didn't want to be a part of it, didn't, agree to participate, to me, it's just like, that's when you cross the line and you do something. You can do things that's mean-spirited, because look, if people joking on me and I ain't agree to it, I got a problem with it. I know watching a roast will never be for me because I get secondhand embarrassment real easy. And so there's gonna be a bunch of cringy jokes that get said, and jokes where I'm like, ooh, he went too far and this and that and the third. And I personally, it would be very uncomfortable for me. So I would never watch a roast. Again, not knocking anybody if that's your thing, if you want to do that, but personally, I don't like them. And the one thing I will say about these roasts is that they expose the inconsistency that people have. People have no problem laughing at a joke when it's about the other, whether it be the political other or whatever, right? But when the joke hits closer to home, that's when people have an issue. So there was a Charlie Kirk joke that got said, and I ain't see no black people complain about that. I ain't see nobody get upset about that because, well, black people ain't had no problem with laughing about Charlie Kirk's death. But when it came to George Floyd, that's when people had an issue. So we're all good to laugh at the demise or, of other people when they go through tragedy, but we don't want the tragedy that we had to deal with as a people, as a community, being joked about. And so I just think the whole thing is just sloppy, inconsistent, and it proves that people are willing to accept controversy when it ain't about what they care about. And I just think that level of inconsistency exposes that there's holes in this whole roasting thing. People know that these things are offensive, but they're okay to tolerate it when it ain't about them. Those are my thoughts, people. What are your thoughts? Am I being too harsh? Am I being lame? Let me know in the comments. Is it not that big of a deal? Is Stephen A. Smith upset for no reason? Should roasts be 100% fair game? Let me know your thoughts. If you agree with me, like the video. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. It's been Providence. If you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate the support. I would appreciate a subscription, as I am a small content creator trying to grow my channel. I would appreciate the love. It's been Providence. I will see you guys in the next video.